What is up, everybody?
Going
Going on.
on.
Hey, what's going on?
Well, on tonight's episode, we're going to talk about a little MLF drama. We're going to talk about little rumors we've heard, what we think our solutions are that we think would make things better, and then talk about what they're doing about the Pro Tour, about how they're cutting down to just 50 anglers in 2025. And then, as y'all know, we like to ramble about stuff, so who knows where we'll go after that.
Who rambles?
Gavin,
Gavin.
Maybe we'll actually hear Dustin's question or not.
Huh?
Maybe we'll actually hear Dustin if he has a question. Or not.
Oh, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe. Oh, and
Maybe.
Cal. I mean, we kind of ignored Cal last week.
Yeah, just a little bit. You're okay.
Yeah.
Cal,
That's what they
Cal,
would say
you don't
yes.
talk enough. I heard
do
people
you
say you don't talk enough, Cal.
Well, sometimes I like to just listen.
You just
I
like to
think
listen.
sometimes
That's
our
a
biggest
first.
problem is talking over people.
Yeah,
Each other.
like us trying to talk and Gavin still talking.
Not let the Dustin get there.
Well, get us started on this conversation.
Okay. So if I don't know if y'all heard, if you follow MLF's page on like their little group page they have on Facebook, somebody commented about like how they need to on BFLs we're talking about here, how they need to fix the problem with co-anglers. Well, somebody that's pretty high up in MLF's made a comment and said, "What do y'all think about sharing weights?" And I know they've had to be talking about it because he wouldn't have commented about it, and he was pretty how he sounded in the comments is that this is something that's pretty high up on their list. My take on it is now it's not. We don't know exactly how it's going to work because they haven't said anything about it. We don't even know if it's actually going to happen or anything like that. But U.S. Open. Okay, I've got a phone call.
Hold on, I'm coming back.
U.S. Opens do this. And what they do is it's a shared weight. So say I catch 20 pounds, my co-angler will also have 20 pounds. But whatever fish my co-angler catches goes towards my weight as well. So if I catch 2 fish and he catches 3, those 3 together will count. Together. Clark said there will always be co-angler shortage at a certain times of the year. Me and him talked about this earlier. I think that's the honest truth because, like he said, who's gonna just join in unless you're fishing for points? Who's gonna join in at the Cherokee Super in October?
You mean September?
Oh,
September.
Yeah.
Nobody.
So like I said, we don't know how it's going to work if they did do it, but if they're going to do it, they're probably going to do it like the Opens, which means that it's basically a team tournament at the point. It's simplified as it is. So if I say I have 5, and my smallest fish is a 2-pounder, and my co-angler catches a 3-pounder, then I call out my 2-pounder with the 3-pounder he got, which means that if I catch 20 pounds, my co-angler's weight is also 20 pounds. I'll struggle with it because here's my first thoughts on it. We can all kind of go around and what we think's like their thoughts on this thing. My first thing is I don't want to finish second and I caught all of my fish and the guy in first would have maybe only had 4 fish or maybe wouldn't have even won if his co-angler did not catch a few key fish. That's my first thought on it.
So is this wait a second before you go to the second, is this a 5 fish limit, 5 best, or is it 10?
5. It's 5.
No, it's 5.
5 best.
Okay.
So, between the 2, right?
Yeah. My second thing is co-angler weights are usually lower. Okay. If I have 20 pounds, if I have 17 pounds, okay, and I only cash a $400 check, but 17 puts them in winning it.
Well, it won't. You have to think.
Yeah, I guess it won't because the weights combined.
Yeah.
And a co-angler don't have to do anything if you think about it, especially during scoping season. Like if their boater is catching the crap out of them. So, like for example, the one I won this year, my co-angler sit down halfway through the day, didn't catch a single fish. He would have still won that tournament, and he didn't even catch a fish, and he sat down half the day.
You can look at it on the co-angler side too, but like that, the tournament that I got second in, I wouldn't even got a check if it would it that way because my boat didn't catch anything that day.
No. And vice versa, if your co-angler kicks their butt, which happens a lot, their boater could get a check off their co-angler. Or qualify for the regionals because of their co-angler.
Well, me and Robbie could have done really well on chick if this was already happening.
Yeah, we would have finished second, Cal.
It's a double-edged sword because there could be times where it could work in your favor of having your co-angler's fish. But at the same time, I don't want to know that I'm basically competing against 2 people sometimes instead of just 1.
They probably just need to go ahead and eliminate co-anglers and go to a team trail if that's how they're going to do it.
Or they just do it like Bassmaster does, and if they ain't got enough co-anglers, you just send the guys out on their own.
Well, then you're going to run into it. Then you're going to run into the issue and the argument of, hey, I had a co-angler fishing behind me catching fish, and this guy didn't have nobody in his boat.
But why is that not an argument in the Bass Opens?
I'm sure it is. It just ain't spoke of much. I mean, you see what I'm saying?
I
Would
understand
you rather
that.
fish against somebody that's? I mean, say your co-angler's in a boat and he's catching your fish, and there's some guy out there that ain't got a co-angler and got to worry about that.
Right.
So you're gonna run into there's gonna be pros and cons to it all.
Yeah, the
only way to do it like they're doing it is to eliminate co-anglers completely.
Yeah. And like I haven't fished this enough or whatever, but I've talked to some people and like co-anglers there's always been a problem with not having enough co-anglers. Even before live scope was like dominating.
Well, I don't know, because when I was fishing the co-angler side, there was a waiting list for co-anglers.
I just think that, and this is no offense to some co-anglers, that they just shouldn't like. I would have made the original if my co-anglers fish at the super tournament counter.
Yeah, you would have, Clark. It was a good one, buddy.
I didn't see that comment. Yeah, leave me in the dark.
I would have made the regionals if my co-angler fish at the super tournament counted for me, which was Dustin.
In that same pocket about 4 or 5 times. That's the wet plopper, and then it went plop, plop.
Schwarped it.
Yeah.
I just think that if you're a co-angler, you should know going into it that you're going to be at a disadvantage.
I think it affects the co-angler more than it does the boater.
Yeah, because here's the thing:
eliminate co-anglers or eliminate live scope.
There we go.
We got it now.
Here's the thing. I still think that if you eliminate live scope, that it's not going to change much with co-anglers. I really don't think it will. Because my thought process on it is, when did this start happening? Around COVID, correct?
There's a generation gap right there. Big gap.
Well, here's the thing.
Everybody's gone and bought boats.
A lot more people starting to get more boats. A lot of people are wanting to take that next step up. There's not a lot of people that's going the co-angler route. They want to jump right into it. I didn't take the co-angler route. I jumped right into it. And I think there's a lot of people doing that. And I think that some of these boaters we have now are the people that fished co-angler for a few years back in the day. Well, look at you, Robbie. You fished co-angler.
Yeah, I fished for 3 years.
Exactly.
I think it only really takes one bad taste before that thought starts creeping in your head. You get that one bad little draw, and then all of a sudden you're thinking, I'd be better off going boater.
Exactly.
And
look at Cal did the
starts
same
in the back of the head.
It drove Cal to really want to get a boat because of his bad co-angler draws. Amanda Huff had a really bad co-angler draw at Cherokee, and she literally said, I'm getting me a boat for next year. I'm tired of dealing with boaters.
Call me, Amanda. I got one for sale tracker. You can have it.
I'm like you. I don't think there's anything that you could do that's really going to help. I mean,
there's not.
There's going to be somebody not happy. There's going to be somebody complaining. And look, this guy just said, he said, I'm switching the boater for next year.
Yeah. So, okay. So if they go, say they decide to make it a team trail, what are you going to do when 2 of the Bass Pro Tour guys show up to fish together? Yeah. I mean, it's always, there's going to be issues with it no matter which way they go.
I think if you make it a team trail, your numbers of boaters are going to go sky high.
Maybe.
I mean, look at Morristown. They pour in twice. What the heck?
Somebody liked it.
Morristown. What was it? Who liked that?
I gave it a thumbs up. I ain't seen that.
Someone liked some comment.
I ain't never seen that either.
Morristown's got 2.
Oh, yeah.
Another one.
What in the world is that?
Bet we can't get one more.
Cal, are you doing that?
Cal, show me your hands.
Whoever's doing that, do it to somebody else, see what the heck happens. But look at the Morristowns. They got twice as many boats as we do.
Well, their entry fees is a whole lot less than we're paying. Plus, they're winning $10,000 every tournament. Go figure.
I just
I
think
mean, when you guarantee
the biggest
10,000 a
problem-
tournament
You're gonna have
for
a lot more
100, what is entry fee? $133, $135, 40. I think the
150.
Classic this weekend was 150. You know,
Yes,
and
I
they're
think
paying more
Panoptics-
places.
Yes, I think Panoptics hurts a little bit, but I think the biggest problem is just co-anglers are wanting to be boaters now. Because I mean, last year at the regional, every besides that first guy, the co-angler I got the second day was literally said I was going to fish co-angler for a year and then go to boater next year. A lot of these people are just fishing as a co-angler, kind of get their feet wet, and then they're going to boater. Because half these co-anglers you talk to, they have a boat themselves. Look at Dustin; he's got a boat himself. He just decides to fish as a co-angler.
So I
If
like
Whitney
meeting
would let him get a
people
new,
like
if Whitney
Clark.
would actually let him buy a new boat, he'd probably fish on a boater side.
I say fish out of the bass trap.
I mean, if I did, I'm considering it, but I mean, I'm thinking honestly maybe one more year of kind of see where all this goes. That give
Okay,
Robbie
well,
another year
here's
to find
another
somebody.
question too. A lot of people said that back in the day they fished co-anglers to learn. Do you think this year you've learned a lot from your boaters?
Not as much as year one. Year one, because I mean, yes and no. It makes you fish like ways you normally wouldn't fish. If I'd have
I ain't
took my
gonna lie
boat
to you.
out, I wouldn't have been fishing probably 60 foot deep with
But
the pop-off.
would you have? Go ahead, Cal.
I said I ain't gonna lie to you. I drew two of the worst boaters this year. In the first tournament at Chick, and then over here at Cherokee.
Come on, come again. I'll remember that if you ever get drawn with me again.
Maybe I'm a boater next year.
Well, if
Well,
we get
Cal,
draw boater on boater, you're in trouble.
well,
there is
Cal,
there's
go.
some learning that does take place. I mean, but I wouldn't say it's as in depth as it needs to be or should be or something like that. You know,
I'm about to say, Cal, can like the 2 years that you did co-angler, did you say you could like you learned a lot that you put into you being a boater?
I wouldn't say I've learned a lot. I've learned different ways to fish, other kind of techniques, stuff like that. Nothing crazy that completely changed the way I fish. You know what I mean?
Here's the problem. This right here, I think, is the biggest problem. I fished with Rob as a co-angler 2 times, only caught one fish, but had a fun and learned some. It's about respect also. Some boaters I've had zero, and that's some of the problem for me. And I think that is the biggest problem out there is these people get drawn. It could just take one time draw with a crappy boater, and they don't want to do it next year. Look, Amanda Huff last year, she was about to quit
Mm-hmm.
because of that one bad boater. Quit the rest of the season.
It just takes that one bad individual.
And it went for me too. And that one time that I had a guy treat me like crap, I'll be like, I'm done. I don't want to do it. I don't want to fish as a co-owner. I want to be the boat. That's kind of what happened to Cal.
Well,
Sal
I mean,
Olsen, what did it in for Cal last year?
Yeah.
had to think about it, didn't he?
Didn't think about that, Cal. Who was your boat? Never mind. I ain't gonna ask. But there's no obvious answer of how to fix this issue.
There's not.
It boils down to this. It's going to boil down into the other topic we're going to talk about with the 50 that they're going to go to.
Mm-hmm.
What's happening?
They won't get rid of co-anglers.
I think they're going to try something. I mean, it's going to be like going from every fish counts to 5 fish back to every fish counts now. They're going to try. I think they already have something in plan. They're just trying to get the details, and it's probably going to be shared weights. And they're going to try it for a year or two and then go back.
Mm-hmm.
Honest
And I
opinion.
think that's crappy that
I
they're
don't.
using.
I still don't think that's
That's why
going to
they
solve
wanna change
anything.
so much. That's the problem with the fish industry right now is they want to keep changing things. Everything was fine until they started changing crap.
Don't fix what ain't broke.
Exactly.
I mean, it's the new generation of fishing.
Yeah, scopers.
Now, don't get wrong.
Hey, I was a part of that group.
He don't want
that
change,
group.
but God, let's keep the live scope.
And
Hey,
Happy in the corner learned how to putt.
I love scoping, and this is what I'm going to learn to do next.
He'll be the new Zaldane. You can do it both.
I don't know if it become a team trail. I don't know if I can make it the whole season with Rob. I've been telling him, put the glide bait down and get on the bank,
Rob. Well, Dusty, no offense to you, but I wouldn't want to fish as a team tournament with you because you're just like a co-angler. You're sitting in the back of the boat.
Well,
okay.
You do what you do.
With that, are they going to allow co-anglers to go to the front of the boat if it's going to be shared weight?
Look what Clark just commented. I guess they need participation trophies now. I mean, that's what I was getting to.
Are they going to do that? Or if it's shared weight, are they going to allow the co-angler to go to the front of the boat to fish with the boater?
I don't think so. Because I think it's the U.S. Open trail.
Oh, U.S. Open, the guys still have to fish in the back.
Yeah, the guy still has to fish in the back, even though they have shared weights.
So now it's going to make your boaters.
We watched that Zaldane video, and he was catching the crap out of them, and his co-angler wasn't, and he had a good day, and his co-angler was sitting good going into day two, but he didn't catch a dang thing.
Right.
But then it's going to turn the boater on to, okay, I'm going to let him throw. I'm going to move the boat up quicker or keep it in to where he can cast to the same area that I'm throwing. Mm-hmm. So hopefully he'll catch a fish that might help me.
And
you're going to have y'all fishing different for sure.
You can hear on Zaldane's video, he would hook into one. He's like, throw out this bunch with throw out there, literally 20 foot in front of
somebody. And honestly, if I was a co-angler, I'd probably be even more mad because it goes into more of who's your boater.
Yeah, because then you're going to get co-anglers say, I ain't fishing that because the boaters I've got drawn with ain't caught crap, and I've caught all the fish.
I don't think you'll have more co-anglers fish. I think it'll just
stay the same.
I don't think you will. I think the only real way they can fix this problem with co-anglers, shortage, and stuff like that is to go to a team format in the BFLs.
And then the ones that don't have a team, let individuals still sign up.
Yeah. I'm just telling you right now that I know it's not going to fix a lot of problems, but it will make a lot of co-anglers happy just making it 3 fish.
Oh, yeah.
You'll have a lot more co-anglers be a little bit less stressed out about it, a little bit more okay with it, and if it was just 3 fish. Because now I just got to put 3 in a boat. Because if you go back and you look at the weigh-ins on co-angler side, majority of the people have 3 fish.
Are they going to make the boater? Are they going to make a boater 3 fish too?
No.
Tim Hensley said, what's the payout percentage of BFLs? Isn't it 20%?
20% of the field. So and I think that's what's hurt a lot of it too, is these team trails are paying out a whole lot more money for less entry fees.
But here's the thing with team trails, you're splitting it. Okay, you win $10,000, but you actually are making, if you win it, you're still actually making as much as you would if you won a BFL because you're splitting $10,000 with just 5,000 people. Unless you fish it solo.
Depending on how they're doing it, though. I mean, if they're splitting everything down the middle, they're not paying near as much for fuel and entry fee than what you do individually.
So if you have the money that BFL does for boater and co-angler, if they made a team trail, you should be able to pay out close to $20,000, close to almost $30,000 for first place because if you combine the payouts for the boaters and the tow anglers, you're going to have a crap ton of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, but here's the thing: when there's somebody over these organizations, when the money goes up, more money's in. That's more money in their pocket, and they don't pay out as much.
Right.
That's the way this world works.
Honestly, Toyotas and BFLs are kind of keeping MLF afloat, if you want the honest truth.
That it is.
Yeah.
And a few pros that fish it, Jacob Wheeler, is the reason why probably MLF is afloat.
But
Yeah.
it ain't gonna. It's not gonna solve the issue.
Okay, because if you look at it, the face of Bass before was Kevin Van Dam, correct? Like when you thought of Bass, you thought of Kevin Van Dam. Last year, and now MLF. You think of MLF, you think of Jacob Wheeler. Okay, who do you think of? I don't think there's a face of Bass. There is too many people that are freaking incredibly good on Bass. Like there's not just one guy that is just like the face of Bass.
No, there's not. There's a bunch of them.
I mean, you could say Gerald Swindle, but he's not really because he does good, just because of how he is. It's not because of how good he does. It's more just because of who he is. But, I mean, I guess the only other person you could think of would be freaking Fujita, whatever his name is, because he finished in the top 10 almost every damn tournament. But you still, when you think of Bass, you don't think of him. When you think of Bass, you think of multiple people now.
So do you think that Kevin seen this coming? That's the reason he retired?
Probably.
There's a comment on here that Tim Hensley put in. He said, what did it say?
I believe that's the reason KVD retired when he did.
Yeah.
Because when they have these meetings, when they talk about these things that's going on, they bring in everybody at these meetings that fish the trails. I heard that in Matt Heron, Matt, can't think of his name, Matt something. Todd Castledon and Andrew Upshaw had a podcast the other day, and Matt was talking about he just qualified. He said that when they brought this up, they brought everybody in and talked about it. So Kevin Van Dam's been in one of those meetings and heard that. It's like, yeah, I got to get out.
Yeah.
I wonder how many with what's coming up, the new rules that's coming up, where they're cutting to 50. I wonder how many of them wish they'd have stayed at Bass.
Oh, I bet a lot of them. I bet a crap ton of them. And I think that's why a lot of them came back after that first year, because they seen where it was heading.
Mm-hmm. I guarantee you, after the season,
I seen something. Go ahead, Cal.
Not the 2024 season, but the 2025 season, when that rule goes into effect, I would almost guarantee you that the Bass Opens field goes up tremendously.
Bass Opens in 2025, 2026 is going to be stacked. You're going to see some big names fishing them again.
I heard something where that all these rule changes and the things that they was coming up when they was cutting back to field of 50, that this was not brought to the anglers until after the fact.
I don't see how it could be any good for it. Why are you cutting your field down?
Yeah.
Money. Not enough money to pay out.
And you hear so I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they were saying something like the top 10 names out of the cut right now.
It was Andrew Upshaw. Upshaw.
Yeah. You got Mark Daniels Jr. You got
big names. That's been in it for a while. It's going to be. And it sucks as a rookie. They worked their butt off to qualify this year, and they literally got to finish in the top 10 to make it 2025 in AOI.
Fishing has grown too quick, too fast.
And it's scared. And everybody in these fishing areas are freaking out about it.
There's not enough out there for people to fish.
And honestly, I don't know much about MLF, but I've heard a lot of people say this about the bass. The biggest reason why they changed it to where you had to fish all the opens was Bassmaster Elites were scared some of the big boy names were going to be bye-bye because of how many people would be coming up.
It's going to change. It's going to hurt the fishing world.
I heard the other day that MPFL might make a little shoot after all this too.
Maybe.
Possibly.
But they need to make a qualification trail.
Because right now it's if you got the money, they'll let you in.
Yeah, because there's got to be. It says here's the thing: if they had multiple leagues, you wouldn't have this problem of there being too many people. You know what I mean? Like it being so big, like growing so quick and stuff like that. If you had like 4 leagues that were as big and as known, it wouldn't be that big of a problem. Like if they were all run exactly the same, you just had your different routes that you could try to go. Because the problem is about bass is why they have tried to eliminate of how easy it is to get there is just because of how big of a staple they have. Like who wouldn't want to fish the classic?
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like who wouldn't want to fish the elites with how many people come to their weigh-ins and the big thing around them?
I mean, you look at it, the Bassmaster Classic draws all those people to watch and to see those anglers. How much do you hear about Red Crest?
No, I didn't even realize it was going on this year. I didn't even watch it. I don't think I watched one bit of it.
Well, I heard too that they were going to cut the coverage of the Bass Pro Tour, which it ain't that great to watch now as it is.
Right.
They just need to bring back, like he said, FLW Tour and Forcebook Cup.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Which I think that's what I think they should just go back to how they had it, where you would have like a Forcebook Cup, and then MLF did their little thing where you'd have like 8 people that go out and do where they blind you to the lake that they go, and they just got to fish.
Those lakes, just about everybody, all those pros have been on just about every lake anymore.
Right.
I don't know. I watched Alton Jones's video, and he was talking about the schedule for MLF Tour, and there's he said a lot of people he talked to hadn't been to half the lakes on it. I just think it depends on what tour you fished. Because if you look at it, daggum bass about goes to the same daggum lakes every dang year.
And they need to have like qualifications to step up, to go up and keep moving up.
Honest question: why would I go fish the BFLs rather than stay super local and fish the Morristown Marine and White Pines and have a better play out? And I think that's the problem.
That is a problem.
A lot of people around here, the volunteer division, that goes and fish Morristown White Pines instead of that. Because honestly, dude, you could probably make a lot better living, a lot better money if you just took out BFLs and fished Morristowns and White Pines and like the local trails they have on South Holston and the little local trails they got like the Federation and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You could.
Because you got lower payouts, less money spending, gas-wise. You're splitting everything with your partner.
And plus, here's another thing too.
At the right times too. You're fishing lakes at right times when you got these local trails.
Sometimes.
One bad thing about the BFLs, like the regionals, they announced the regional term. We know what regional we're going to next year if we qualify.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, you take Del Hollow, out of the top 12, how many of those were from the volunteer division?
There was one Alabama guy, and the guy that won it was from Michigan, and I think the rest were from
Yeah, so 10 out of the top 12.
So
And
10 out of the top 12.
People fished the volunteer this year that was from Del Hollow that's never fished the volunteer division ever. I can name 4 off the top of my head.
Exactly. I mean, and then you're going you run into that issue. Why do we want to go fish a regional at a lake that locals is going to be there's going to be so many of them in there that can finish in the top 12.
And Michigan made a good point. And I mean, I hate to say it because I was happy about it too, though. I don't know. They were talking about how they thought it was unfair that Tennessee, like a Tennessee trail, got to fish in Tennessee for the regional,
Right.
where they have to travel all the way from Michigan down.
I still agree. I still think that they need to announce those regionals 3 tournaments in. After the third tournament, announce where that regional's going to go, where that division's going. That'll keep people at home.
Why do they
and not have home lake advantage at these places?
You know, like
that don't make any sense to me at either. Why hide the wild card?
Yeah,
I mean, you're making it a point to let people pick to go.
What?
Fish a regional. Why not just let them decide if they want to go to wild card?
Right.
You can go ahead now, Cal.
Oh no, you're good. He answered the question.
I'm like you though. I think they should not tell us where the regional is until, I wouldn't say after the Super, but at least after 3 events.
Yeah.
Where you're too far into it for somebody
after 3
to go
events.
fish. Huh? What?
I said they should announce them all at 3 events in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because you're already
Regional
too far in
wild
where
card,
you can't qualify for the regional if you start.
But you can. You could still qualify for. You could still qualify for the wild card.
Yeah, but the wild card is. When is the wild card?
November 10th and 11th.
That's for All American though. I don't know. It's making fishing even more stressful because you don't know where it's going. You don't know what the right decision is, especially when you're trying to make it in the fishing like I am. You don't know where to go. You don't know what's the best financially. You don't know where the best money's at because
team trails.
I almost think it's harder to win all the Morritowns and shit than it is the White because I mean the Morritowns and White Ponds are freaking stacked.
What did the Morritowns average this year? 260 some boats.
You know what would be kind of interesting if they did? If you fish the BFLs, you can't live in so many miles around the lakes. Like we couldn't fish the volunteers. We'd have to fish a different division.
People couldn't afford to fish them.
Yeah,
I know, but it would make it very interesting. I feel like it would be a lot better, like a fair playing ground.
You wouldn't have a fair playing ground, but it would eliminate a lot of their money coming in.
Mm-hmm. I don't mind the home field advantage in your division.
I don't either, but I'm just saying it'd be kind of interesting. You know what I mean? Like
your division is different.
I think the only problem they need to fix, like with scheduling and stuff, is not able to see where your regional's going. Like y'all said, 3.
They freaking put lakes at times of the years when they know they're good. If you want people to come in, because that's the biggest thing. If you want people to fish your trail, put freaking times of the years on lakes that make sense, that are good.
Like also look at other tournaments.
Well, look at Cherokee. How is that showing anything good on Cherokee of how low the lakes were? You know what I mean? Like Cherokee can be really good if you put it in the dang spring, not in freaking fall.
Well, you're still going to have that issue no matter where you go in September.
I know. Well, Del Hollow, it wasn't a problem there.
Volunteer.
I mean, even at Del Hollow, weights didn't show how good the lake could be.
I know, but I mean, if Smallmouth played, it would have.
Okay, you got a point.
Like,
yeah.
I think there should be a trail that does it backwards. You start in the fall, and your classic or your regionals in the spring.
That's because you're a live scoper.
Why not do all five? Why not do all 5 events in the spring?
Take live scope out of it. It still would be.
No,
fun.
that ain't gonna fly with you.
I will finish without live scope.
We got 5 other episodes that says you say something.
Who's got it? Who bought it and installed it on their boat?
I ain't saying nothing but if I don't have it, I ain't got it. You know, I ain't gonna cry about it. Be talking about, boy, I would come if I had a live scope. No. I think if you took Gavin's live scope, he'd just sit out there in the middle of 40 foot of water crying. It's like, if I had a scope, I'd catch you.
I know you're here, I just don't know where.
Here's the thing, too.
Like, little 2.8 contact just for giggles.
Now, be honest, okay? Today, yes, live scope made it a lot easier, but we could have seen those fish on 2D that we were fishing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
If we were just throwing out there, letting it hit the bottom, and just reeling it by, I feel like we still could have caught fish.
I think so too.
Y'all both drinking.
Because, I mean, only a few times where we're like trying to target that one fish in the group or whatever. We were basically just throwing it and then just winding it through the shad, hoping one will bite it.
Live scope ain't going nowhere.
No.
I don't think it's been here for too long.
Why? Here's something. Why don't they fish all 5 of the BFLs in the spring?
If I could plan a perfect trail, it would be South Holston, February, or you can even put it in March. Keep Norris there in February. Okay, South Holston in March, Watts Bar in April, Chickamauga in the summer.
Why would we put Chickamauga back on there?
Because it'd be a ledge tournament. It'd be fun as heck in the summer. Or you could even put it in the spring. I think there should not be a tournament. I think just the regional should be in the fall.
Yeah, I agree.
You could literally fit it in because you could fit them all in up to the summer and then not fish for August, September. I mean, look at the elites. They don't fish in the fall for a reason because it don't show good on their papers of going to lakes when it's crappy.
Especially like on the super tournament. Clark and me sitting 11 and 12. I fell 41 spots.
Mm-hmm.
On one tournament.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, fishing in the fall can be fun, but your weights are just going to plummet.
Depending on where you're at in the fall.
Around here, I should say. How good's Chickamauga? Like, I know Chickamauga can be fun in the fall because you can frog and punch.
I don't know.
You look at the weights around here right now. What did it take to win the Morristown Classic? 28 pounds for 2 days and smallmouth back in play.
And a lot of weights.
That shows you how tough it is.
And the weights dropped the second day.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the guys that finished that was second, dropped down in the 20th or something. So I think like I said, I think another problem is just schedules sometimes. I think that's why Music City and because honestly, if you want the honest truth, Music City and Mountain Divisions have the best schedules of going to lakes at the right time of year. That's why they have at the Dale Hall tournaments. There's 170 boats.
Yeah. 170, 180 most times.
Like all through Mountain Division, there was over 120 boats.
Yeah.
Or Music City. Because they go to Lakes Rot. We went to Del Hollow in the spring, like we should have. Went to Center Hill during the shad spawn. There's a bunch of bushes and stuff. You go to Old Hickory in the summer. It's a ledge fishing thing. And then you go to Old Hickory in the fall when they're up Baby Dick shallow. Same thing. You go to Del Hollow on the Mountain Division. Then you go to Cumberland. And then you go to Barren River. Barren River is Lake Douglas. So it's like,
well,
let's go fish
in
the
the
Cowboy
volunteer
division.
division. Which lake would be the easiest?
Let's go fish the Michigan division next year and just go catch 25 pounds of smallmouth every tournament.
Yeah.
If you look at it too,
out in the middle.
volunteer is the one division that don't fish the same lake more than once. We're the only division
There's too many
that
lakes
fish
around here for us
different
not
lakes
to.
every single tournament.
Yeah.
The only lake around here that you can catch fish. Which lake would you say in our division is the lake that you could go to and catch fish? Not
Year
big
round?
weights, but at least catch fish year round.
South Holston.
South Holston,
Yep.
Douglas.
Douglas too, probably. Yeah. I don't think we should go to Watts. Watts Bar is fun. I do enjoy Watts Bar. Okay, I do. But I think you should keep it South Holston, Douglas, Cherokee, and Norris.
Piss on North.
Why would we go to Chick anyways? That's Choo Choo's lake, too. Like, why are we going that far?
Because it's just that big. It's a big name fishery.
Well, what other lake are you going to throw in there for 5? You said Norris.
You can fish it multiple times. Every other divisions do. Michigan fishes 2 lakes. That's it.
The LBL, Lake Barkley Lake League. That's all they fish.
We'll change it to the Cherokee League.
Hey, but did you notice?
I wish volunteer was just South Holston year.
They changed the ramp though.
Yeah, change the ramp. You got to change the ramp.
Change the ramp.
Why don't they go to the Watauga? They don't go to Watauga because the closest place would be Elizabethton, and Hampton will not pay to have that big there because all the money would go towards Elizabethton because that's the only place for people to stay. And that lake, it'd be rough to hold 100 boats on it.
It's not too big
enough.
Huh?
Boone's big enough.
Boone is big enough. I will probably say in a few years, Boone might make their way in there.
Once
But
that Florida strand takes off.
Bristol would get that money too, though. And well, maybe Johnson City. Probably Johnson City. But I don't think Johnson City would pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question. I wonder why they don't go to Boone.
Especially now it's back. I mean, give them a year or two at the Florida, like Robbie said, let the Florida strand get in there real good. I mean, they're getting bigger, but
I mean, I was at Boone the other day. You can say they're getting bigger, but not the ones I was catching. I caught one all day.
South Holston, yes, it's a stretch, but South Holston is bigger than Watauga. You could run to the dam and all the way up as far as you can go in the river at Watauga in probably 10 minutes, running about 65.
Just don't.
And South Holston, you might be able to do that too, but Watauga has less creek arms. South Holston is full of creek arms. Watauga has 2 big creek arms. That's it. Besides the rivers, they got little pockets. That's why fish is so small in the winter, in the spring. I guess you could count Cove Ridge, not Cove Ridge, but Mallard Cove, but half of it's a marina.
Yeah.
And you got 2 rivers. Well, technically 3, but we could go to Fontana. Does he mean Montana? What's Fontana?
It's probably something in Texas.
Something in Texas.
I don't know, dude. I would give anything if they would put South Holston in March or February, and I would almost guarantee you there'd be 200 boats in that son of a gun.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't they got them in March this year?
JR said it's a lake.
It's a lake, rookie. Did you know it, Robbie?
What?
Fontana?
Montana? No, I've heard of it, but I don't know where it's at or never been there.
He's Googling it now. Look at him.
Hey,
who's Googling?
Gavin.
It's in North
He'll be telling us all kinds of stats on it now.
Montana is in California, but I don't think that's a lake.
It's in North Carolina.
In North Carolina.
Well, sorry, JR. We haven't been around the world fishing.
Hey, JR, what happened to Tennessee against Alabama?
Hey, Cal, we don't want to talk about that. What happened? Why didn't Ole Miss blow out Auburn?
Hey, your coach made a tweet saying that we should have won that game because of if it wasn't for penalties.
Hey, stop getting penalties.
I'm gonna punch you in the face.
No, not against us.
JR said
uncalled penalties.
Yeah, uncalled penalties. It should be saying.
Did you go to that game, JR?
No,
of course he went to that game. No, yeah, I guess so. Because it was in Alabama.
He was in Alabama, but I didn't know if he
went.
Hey,
here's a question. Now, I don't know. I haven't thought about this long enough. How would you feel if they were something like other sports where you got like there was teams in like divisions and you had to get drafted? Like there was like a college league, but not obviously college, but like a college league. And like these bigger teams picked you up and then y'all fished as like you fish individually, but you fish as a team.
Say that again.
But you know how like
Gavin's turning it into the schoolyard where everybody's getting picked for basketball.
Yeah, we're gonna have a draft.
JR said the second half was like me yesterday on Cherokee. So every big like NFL, all that kind of stuff, they have teams and they draft players up. So you would have like states would have their own leagues, and there's like a college division, but it's not actually college, but obviously it's like a lower division. And these teams picked you up, and it's like you fish as a team, but individually against other teams.
So how many people's in a team?
Yeah,
I don't know. You could do.
You just sat around and thought of half the rules. Is that it?
Yeah, 50 people in a team. 5 people in a team. How many teams you gonna put?
I didn't think about it much. I just thought, like, I didn't know. I mean,
are you gonna make it like divisions, East and West?
Hey, I dare Gilmore said it best.
No, I'm not talking about like you fish with somebody, but you fish as a team.
You'd still be mad. Somebody wouldn't catch them.
I ain't know about my co-anglers.
Yeah, if they go to this team, if they go to this combined weight deal, Gavin's gonna get drawn with the co-angler does not catch a fish in any of the tournaments.
Every single time.
Well, if you start letting him get to a spot for a change, maybe he'd catch something.
Hey,
will they put all 5 fish in the same bag or their 5 biggest in a bag and go up there together, stand on the stage together?
Yeah. How would weigh-ins work, I
guess? And he said, "Yeah, go ahead and hold your big fish up, and Gavin's co-angler has to pick up the big one and hold it up."
That'd be what it'd be like. Okay, this year, Robbie, let's just try to see how we would have done with our co-anglers. How would you have done this year adding your co-anglers fish with your weights? like with your bag?
What would have done at the first one, Cal?
I had 4 pounds.
What I have?
I had more than that. I had 6
You had
pounds.
you had 4 pounds the first time.
No, I had almost the exact same weight both years. So I think I had like 5'10", 5'11", something like that.
What did I have that second year together? I only had 4.
Yeah, you had 4 for like 13.
You would have finished second last year.
Yeah, we would have probably been second. The year before we'd have finished second. Because you had a 5'10" and I had 14 even.
Yeah.
With 4.
Where'd you finish at this year, Rob? So you had 9:15 with 3 this year. So with another 4-pounder, you would have been at like 13, right at about 14 pounds. Which would have put you in 13th place.
If the other boaters didn't have their co-anglers help them out.
Yeah.
Right.
I would have.
So you can't really calculate that, Gavin. You can't really calculate where you would have finished.
I'm just saying, just take us away, like everybody else away. Just kind of see how we would have done this year. Norris, I would have stayed the same because my co didn't catch anything. Same thing with South Holston. I would have cashed a check. My boater had a 4-pounder. My co had a 4-pounder. I had 11 pounds. I actually would have finished in the top 5.
Oh, so now he's over here. He's like, "Ooh, this might not be a bad idea."
Yeah,
yeah, this sounds like a good idea to me.
Trying to make a living, might as well have somebody help me.
Clark said he would have won chick and had a top 10 at Watts Bar.
I don't know what his co had at South Holston, but he finished second at South Holston too.
See, if we go to Watts Bar, then I'm out of the top 10 because my co-angler, I don't think weighed a fish in, did he?
No, he didn't.
Yeah, so that would have knocked me out.
Mine didn't either at Watts Bar.
6 of my 8 boaters zeroed this year.
Dang.
So, Dusty, you would have been out. You would have been no good.
I mean,
okay, here's a question that's way off topic. If you could have one tournament back this year, which one would it be?
Watts Bar.
Del Hollow.
Take the regional out of it.
Oh.
I have one tournament.
Like if you could go back and do something different, which one would it be? Mine would be Norris.
All right, see, I got paid at chick.
I couldn't have done nothing different at Norris. I caught too many short smallmouth.
South Holston just didn't work out for me. What was after that? Norris?
Yeah.
Norris, top 10. What's after that? Watts Bar?
Yeah.
Watts Bar.
Zeroed.
No, I had one.
Yeah, one. Oh, yeah, you caught that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking
I would honestly say I would go back to Watts Bar. I missed a lot of fish that day.
Which is also hard as a co-angler to take a tournament back because you can't really change what your boater does.
I'm talking about go back into a tournament and fish cleaner. I would have went back.
Yeah, mine would be Norris still because I had a 4-pounder hooked twice. I'm bad. Jacob Linkus, your boy said Cherokee.
Yeah, Cherokee. I would take Cherokee back. Yeah, we'd redo Cherokee.
What about you?
It still wouldn't have helped.
As a co-angler, what tournament would you have went back to that? Because not necessarily change what you did, but fish cleaner.
Watts Bar. For some reason, I lost 2. Like it was only 3 fish limit, and I lost 2.
Yeah, no,
I lost fish.
Yeah, I lost 2 or 3 fish that day. So.
Granted, the second one I lost was because I was stupid and didn't retie after the first one spit it, but it is what it is.
Do you think that 18-inch smallmouth will be a little bit easier to find at Norris the time of the year we're going?
Maybe.
I might practice 3 days on Norris.
I was zeroed last year at Norris, so I can only go up.
I'm already going to be out of town. I'm already going to be on the road, so I might just come fish 3 days there. Hey, to be honest with you, though, we need to start looking at places now to stay, so it'll be 10 times cheaper. You know what I mean? Like if we already booked some of the stuff.
We're not letting Robbie book it. We're not doing that again.
Job well done.
It wasn't terrible.
Are we gonna try to find an Airbnb every place we go, or are we just gonna do Are we gonna do a hotel at Norris again?
How many people are you gonna have room with us, Gavin?
I mean, I don't know. Right now, it's me.
We're up to 9.
Rob, Dustin, Cal, my dad, and maybe Clark.
4 boats. We have to get 4 boats in.
Clark just said, "Don't forget me."
No, that's a place we're gonna have to be able. We're gonna have to find somewhere you can put 4 boats at.
That's what I'm saying. The hardest thing will be finding a place, but it will also save us money the more people we got because we can get a bigger place without us spending so much money all together. Because I mean, look at the place we got at the regionals. If that was just 4 of us, that would have been a lot of money.
What regional?
At
Smith. Smith. Okay.
Because that place was.
I mean, there was only 6 of us.
Hey, JR, would you be our personal booker?
Yeah, JR. Maybe throw you a little bit, a little bit of money.
He can just sponsor us with all the places.
Yeah, I'll wear Hennard lumber. You just book our room. I've got a big chest.
Hey, we'll all 4 go out at the front of your shop and throw little signs saying "Shop for wood here."
Whoa, hey, it's I mean, it could be raining, dude. Don't want. I work at a desk
in
now,
a little lumber outfit.
Nah, I know a guy that's got lots of free time, JR. He'll be out there every day.
Hey, Cal's got a lot of free time now.
Where's he at? JR not going to answer my question now?
JR's probably already gone. He just clicks in here to
Either that or he's cooking something good.
Yeah, we just need JR to come around and be our personal chef, too.
Hey. I think we just need to talk JR into fishing again.
He picked the worst year to go watch the Tennessee every game.
He was so worried. He thought they were going to be good this year from the last year.
Nobody wants to hear Ole Miss fans.
What's your record?
Opinion.
What's your record?
Just sit there and be quiet, Cal.
What's your record?
Hey, sit there and be quiet.
Hey, there we go.
Cal's putting us on saying, "I love wood."
Hey, he came back in here just to hear me talking crap about Tennessee.
We're at the hour mark, boys.
Time would have to be this big as little as he is.
I knew it wearing a leprechaun shirt.
Well, yeah, wouldn't have it any other way.
Well, he'd be a natural.
Oh, Lord.
Well, this was a good one. Hope you all liked it. Make sure you go check out all of our social medias. Yeah, every Sunday at 8 o'clock, boys.
Every Sunday.
Yep.
Our little trail that little derby we're gonna do. We'll start it soon because everything's starting to slow down.
Yeah. We'll be doing
on Patrick Henry. Whoopie-doo.
Let's go.
Patrick Henry.
Yep. And the second one you're doing without live scope after me and Cal whoop that hind end, tell you no.
On Watauga too. Oh,
and I'm taking his graph just to make sure he don't cheat.
We're just gonna put his big screen on your
well.
boat for Watauga. We'll take yours to Watauga.
It'll fit.
Yeah. We'll just put 2 screens on it. We'll take his whole Panoptics off his boat, put it on yours. We'll have 2 for Watauga.
We'll go pull up next to him. I'm like, I ain't even scoping, but I'm playing with it. Just see what it looks like, Gavin. Hey, there's one right out there. What are you looking at? I can't tell you.
Well, it was a good
If
one,
it's
boys.
in the winter, I'll be all right. We can just go throw a float and fly.
It don't hurt my feelings at all.
All right. Hope everybody has a good night. Appreciate y'all staying
right.
in tune as my train's going by. Make sure you check out all of our social medias. I'm gonna start posting on TikTok more. Working on some editing and stuff. But if y'all have any suggestions on any lives, as we always try to push, leave us a comment on anything about what you think we should talk about, what you'd be interested in hearing us talk about. Like I said, we try to do this for y'all. We just like to sit around and talk a lot about fishing. So
Some of us.
Yeah, Dustin just likes to sit up here and make faces. Y'all have a good night. See y'all, brothers.
All right. See y'all.